Hello, my name is Nicole Walsh. I'm a project manager here at Wings for Growth. Today I have CEO and founder Varsha Waishampayan joining us, as well as Lynne Sawyer, Chief Operating Officer, Wealth Management at Bank of New York Mellon, and also co-chair of the board for Wings for Growth. Important to note that Wings has had Lynne as a 3-time mentor, so that is huge. Thank you, Lynne, for that. This year, she is also a group mentor on top of all of her other responsibilities. So we definitely appreciate your time today, Lynne, and your time today, Varsha. I have a few questions for you ladies, if you don't mind indulging me for a little while here. Lynne, the first question I'm actually going to kick over to you. And it's, how should companies' mentoring practices adapt to address the change in the hybrid workplace?
So Nicole, that's an incredibly interesting question and very topical. Hybrid has changed everything, but I think there's great silver linings in hybrid, and it's a wonderful opportunity for us to rethink how we do things. And as you said, I have been mentoring for the last couple of years, and so I've mentored through our transition into hybrid. And I can tell you some of the things that I've noticed that's really helped us change and helped us evolve is it really expands your opportunity to mentor. You've heard 10-Minute Manager, right? A book that was written a long time ago. Well, I feel like I have the opportunity to do 10-minute mentoring. A lot of the times my mentors, we have our scheduled meetings where we meet, but they may need me at a specific time during the week. And it's very easy for them to ping me and say, do you have time? And we can jump on a quick video call and I can mentor them in the moment. Yeah. And I think a lot of learning sometimes happens in the moment. Granted, you'll hear about our signature program when we have a great structure to mentor, and we give our mentors wonderful guidelines and practices. And those are fantastic for the longevity of mentoring over the time of the program. But then there's also this great opportunity for mentoring in the moment. And I think hybrid and our capabilities now to sort of jump on video calls, and we know how to transact in a video call, and it's much more second nature at this point, just really adds to our mentoring toolkit.
Yeah. Lynne, that was great. Thank you so much. It's so easy to see why you're so well respected here at Wings. That was so insightful.
Yeah.
Varsha, the next question is for you. How can companies support senior leaders in the quest to become better mentors? This is something that we've been talking about more often lately.
And first I want to just kind of remind everyone that what I said is that everyone at Wings, they're all very accomplished senior executive. That means everyone wants to do this. Everyone thinks it's the right thing to do. Everyone is committed to doing the right thing. So let's make sure that we have a huge opportunity where we have all these amazing experiences from these leaders and they are willing to do it. So that's the biggest part of this, which we don't even have as a challenge. Now, the second bigger part of it, we always think, and Nicole, you've heard me say this many times, that mentoring is art and science both, right? It's not just science or it's not just art. It's art and science. So in other words, to some people, it's easy peasy. They're natural at this. And others have to work at it, right? We need to give them resources, templates, and tools. But this is so important. And I'll give you a couple of examples where we distinguish great mentors from good mentors, right? So in other words, everyone says, oh, building trust is important. It's the most difficult thing to do. If you don't know someone, and all of our mentors have never met our mentees at Wings, and now they're together for 10 months. So how do you do that? And how do you make it successful? So building trust is an art and a science, both. And I think that is something that GMI is going to tackle. And also, it's not about giving advice only. And Lynne knows that we have a curriculum, we have a plan, we have tools to handle that. It's not about today I need this, so can you give me advice? That's important, but that's not for development and growth. That's tackling problem at a time, right? So for that reason, it's really, really important that our mentors develop mindset.
Sounds like there's a lot of two-way learning going on there too.
That is
a lot
true.
Of reciprocal learning. That's great. Lynne, next question for you. Where do you find the most success in being a mentor?
So Nicole, I've mentored people my whole career. I was going to say I've mentored over the last 3 years, but then I paused for a second and said, no, wait a minute. I've actually been mentoring my whole career. And I really find there's a couple of magical components, right? And Varsha was talking about the relationship that develops between the mentor and the mentee. And to delve in or double click on some of those magical components, it's really about people that are ready to receive feedback and act on feedback and make that part of their to-do list, part of their, goals. I really find that I have the most success and I have the most successful mentor-mentee sort of relationships and partnerships when we have conversations, we have our structured mentoring moments, and then when we meet back again, information that we exchanged, the mentee has applied and they've tried and they've changed or they've driven something forward and they come and report back. And it's this constant feedback loop and it's this constant development loop. And so, as Varsha said, there's a structured program that helps support that loop and that interaction. And then there's the relationships and the experience sharing and the storytelling, which is where the trust comes from. And then it's really, how do you take action? Yeah. And the most impactful and fulfilling mentor-mentee relationships that I've had is where there's been a lot of action, a lot of development, and huge successes as a result of that through the mentoring process.
And can I just jump in here? And Lynne is right that she's been mentoring for ages. She was my mentor too. And I just wanted to say that Wings as an inspiration came straight from my mentor right here. So I think that is how you impact people's life and then how the transformations happen. But one more thing I wanted to add, Nicole, to everything that Lynne said is, getting to the root cause of the problem is where the art also comes into picture, right? So if a mentee comes and says, I don't think my boss likes me. Lynne and I know how many times we have heard that, right? So, okay, how do you do, oh my God, what's going on? What is he doing? What is she doing, right? It's not that. Are you really getting the whole picture? So getting to the questions, emotionally being supportive, but really understanding where the root cause could be is a very important role of a mentor.
Absolutely. And a lot of this transcends into our personal lives as well. So much of what we learn from our mentors can be applied everywhere in every aspect of our life. Lynne, back to you. With being an executive, where do you find the time to mentor? You said you've been mentoring for your whole career. Where do you find the time?
Yes. So again, an incredibly difficult question, but listen, we find the time for many things in our life. I find time to eat lunch. I find time to go to the gym. Occasionally I have dinner with my husband. We work it in. So I think everybody, there's no one answer to this question, but I think everybody figures out how to work things into their life, into their schedule that's meaningful for them. As I said before, mentoring is very meaningful to me. I get a lot out of it. It's really a two-way partnership. I stay fresh. I stay a good coach. I apply, leadership skills. I develop my leadership skills when I'm mentoring somebody else. So it's having a payback for me as much as it's having a payback from the mentee. And if I'm not investing in myself in some portion of my day, I'm not moving forward. So I find the time, I put it on my calendar. I don't change the meeting 1,000 times. And sometimes I try to make it bite-sized. Right. So that you can fit it in. Right. So, occasionally I'll be running along with my mentee and we'll have hour-long meetings every week. And then there might be a period in one of our schedules where we go to like every other week, or we go to half-hour meetings and then we ramp back up. So it's really being flexible, adjusting to your schedule, but it's really like that. It's like your hobby that you need to stay committed to. It's like going to the gym. You need to keep going to the gym. You need to keep your mentoring sessions happening. But I think you get the fulfillment out of it when it's done, that it moves you on to the next one. And it helps you continue to find that time in your busy day, in your schedule, to do something that keeps you fresh, develops your own skills, and pays it forward. Somebody mentored me. along my
Yeah.
career. Many people actually mentored me along my career. And so every time I'm putting a mentoring session on my calendar, I'm feeling like I'm doing for this mentee what someone did for me.
And making it bite-sized. That's what resonated with me the most, because then it's manageable.
Yeah.
So you go to the gym for 30, 40, 60 minutes. It's a bite-sized portion of your day. Mentoring is a bite-sized portion of your day. I love that, because then it doesn't seem so daunting. And it is that time for yourself. As much as you might not want to do it, it's your time for you, which we all need, especially in this hybrid work environment. So it's just another great excuse to take time for yourself and invest in yourself. So thank you, that was great. Varsha, next question for you, and final question. This might be the toughest one. So, ready? What should CEOs do to develop a better mentoring culture?
Well, I can only speak from what I heard and learned from so many others, because I've never been a CEO of any big companies. But I'll tell you, right, for anyone to be a mentor, first they have to be a mentee. That's kind of, lead by example. So it really has to come, the mentoring culture, it's really how the leadership should be done these days, right? I mean, Lynne has said that this is a hybrid environment. We have multiple generations in the workforce right now. So that the way they were done a few years ago are not going to be done anymore the same way, where mentorship is not left to a chance, right? It is how you do the leadership. So first of all, let's set that stage that this is how the leadership needs to be done. And that happens from the top. And then I also say that everyone should be entitled to mentoring. It shouldn't be left for people to find out accidentally from some HR website, or not being picked and someone else next door got picked. I think there should be, from top down, it should be a message that if you're looking for a mentor, you can find one. Just ask, raise your hand, right? Also, as Lynne has been saying, it's a two-way learning. It really has to be two-way. And this is how the leaders need to think about mentorship. They are not just, it's not, they are the smarter person in the relationship. It's about, I have a lot of experience that I want to share, and I want to learn from my mentee as well. And then reward it. Leadership needs to reward great mentors. This doesn't happen. It's, again, left to, if you have time, do it, right? If you don't have time, you have nothing to lose. That's not how it works, right? So again, it's a culture, and a culture needs to be set from the top and should have a ripple effect to the most junior person in the organization.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Varsha, Lynne, this has been fantastic. I know I'm super motivated right now. I know anyone who's listening to this probably learned a lot and wants additional information. So I thank you both very much for your time today. And I look forward to seeing and being a part of amazing, great things from Wings, especially within this Global Mentorship Institute. Thank you both very much.
Thank you for being a great host.
Thank you, Nicole.
I hope you enjoyed this discussion. If you're ready and willing to be a mentor or be mentored by amazing Wings mentors, then what are you waiting for? Head over to www.wingsforgrowth.org and sign up. And stay tuned in for more of such exciting discussions. Talk soon.